Hi there, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'll be talking about AWS Auto Scaling. So that is Auto Scaling Group, AWS ASG. So it contains a collection of Amazon EC2 instance that are being treated as a logical grouping for the purpose of automatic scaling and also as well as to manage those instances, whether to scale out or scale in, so that we can decide by using this ASG, because in which we will be defining what are the desired number of instances that we want to run it, and what is the maximum number of instances and what is the minimum number of instances that should be running. We can decide in our auto scaling group. So auto scaling groups also enable us to use EC2 auto scaling features such as health checks, replacements, and all. If some EC2 instance is not healthy, it will automatically replace with the next EC2 instance. And also we can define the user data. So all those things we can do it, as well as we can do the scaling policies. So in today's video, I will not be talking about the scaling policies and all. So mostly we'll focus on the health check replacements and how does it works. So this is how the basic auto scaling group is there. So what is the minimum size that should be always be up and running, and how much we need to maximum, how much we need to scale out, and what is the desired capacity and what is the maximum size that we have. Like suppose 4 instances are there and we need always that desired capacity 2 should be always running. So we can define all those things in the auto scaling group. So in today's lab, we will see first now, it's like a combination of the previous labs also. So I will just create a target group. So we will take a load balancer also, application load balancer, and we will create a this template, auto scaling group template, and we will create a auto scaling group, and then we will launch, and then we will see how does it works. So we will quickly move on to the AWS console. So let's go to the console. First of all, I'm going to create a target group. So let's for the instances, and we will put over here the name, my TG, and just click next. So currently I'm not associating any instances in this target group. So just I'm creating a target group. My target group is being created. Now I will go to the load balancers. So here I'll create one application load balancer. So I will name it as my ALB. So this application load balancer I will use in my auto scaling group. So let it be US East 1A, 1B, and 1C. And security groups, it is by default, we can create a new security group. Also over here, if you saw my previous videos, you can see over there, we were having this launch wizard 19 in which we have provided the SSH and the HTTP port 80. So we can also create a new security group if we want. So let's create over here. So my ASG security group, and we can add over here inbound rules. We can give it over here HTTP port 80 and anywhere, add rule SSH if you want to add it anywhere, and that's it, and save it. So our security group name is MyASG security group. We will be using this one. Now we need to add some description. Security group for ASG, and create the security group. That's it. So we'll go back to our load balancer. So you can just refresh this one. You can see my ASG security group. We can remove the default one. And this listener, you can see if you are getting the target group, HTTP port 80, as it is an application load balancer. The rest of the things, you can keep it same. It will take some time to provision this, this load balancer. So in the meantime, we will just go to our auto scaling group. So first we will have to create a launch configuration. That is basically a template that we have to create. So create a launch configuration. So we can write it over here, my ASG launch CFG. Just you can put something, whatever name you want. And then we have to choose the AMI. So I can choose over here. But before creating a launch configuration, let me go back over here. Auto scaling groups. Yeah, we need to create from here. From here also we can go create auto scaling group. So let it be my ASG. And here is a launch template that I was talking about. No need of going through launch configuration. That is, we need to do it from the scratch. So we can just use it over here. So we can create a launch template over here. So launch template name, my ASG template. So ASG template. And rest of the things over here, quick start. I will choose this Amazon Linux free tier, and then instance type. You can just choose T1 micro. That is a free. And key pair login, I'm just using my previous one. If you have any problem, you can just create a new key pair value if you want to access the EC2 instance. And here, if you want to include some subnets, so no need of changing anything over here. And just security groups we can choose over here, the existing one, my ASG security group, because we have given the access SSH as well as HTTP. And we will just go to the advanced details here, scroll it down here in the user data. So I'll be just copying this user data over here in order to run a Apache web server. So I just copied this one. I think let me just go review it. Yeah, everything looks fine. So don't forget to put the user data and select the security group, and rest of the things, let it be there. Create launch template. So we have created the launch template. So this was the previous one. So just now we created this one now. Okay. So we can cross check it over here by looking into the security group. This one is the previous one. So if yeah, this is the one that we created just now. We can just go to the details over here, launch template. We can just increase the size. Source tags. Okay, so we will just go, this is the one that we have created. Now we will go to the auto scaling groups. You can just go to the previous screen over here. You can just refresh this one and just choose the one, my ASG template. You can see default, keep here, and that's the launch template description and all. Just click next. And by default VPC, and we can add over here this subnets over here, 1A, 1B, 1C, and next. So you can see that we can also run this auto scaling group without a load balancer, but we have existing load balancer. So we can just click over here and choose our load balancer over here, my target group. And nothing to change over here. Let it be the same. Next. Here you can see this is the desired capacity, minimum capacity, and maximum capacity. Rest scaling policies I'm not going to touch over here. In the next video, I will show you how to track down this scaling policies and all, how to dynamically resize and all. We'll discuss in the next video. The rest of the things, let it be by default. Next. And we can also configure this SNS topics and all. We can, if you might have seen my previous videos on this S3 and SNS and all, we can use that for notifications, and we can get this through SNS topics. And whenever the EC2 launches or terminates, so we will be getting messages on that notifications. So this thing also, I will try to show you in the next video. Next. And we can also add a tag over here for billing purpose and all. And I think everything is fine over here. So you can see load balancer is also there. Everything is fine. Desired capacity, minimum capacity, maximum capacity. I'm keeping it all one. So after if successfully it is done, then I will change the desired capacity and all, coming back to this one. So let's create an auto scaling group. So that's it. This auto scaling group is up. Now let me go to my load balancer. I hope it is up. Even now we can check it over here. If I go to the EC2 dashboard, you can see over here, if I go to the dashboard over here, you can just refresh over here. You can see it's still pending. So because our desired state is 1, so it has started launching one EC2 instance. So this means our auto scaling group is working fine. So we can check over here, what are the security groups it is being associated. You can see my ASG security group, that's fine. Now we will go to the load balancer. Let's see our load balancer. So that is also active. We will we will not do any make changes in the listening roles and all those things. So first of all, I will show you from here, EC2 instance. Okay, so you can just click on this. And if you copy this public IP address, and you can paste it and you can check. So you can see it is working fine. My EC2 instance, Apache Web Server is also working fine. Now we can go to our, this is load balancer. So I'll go to I'll copy this one, DNS name. If any issues is there, we need to take care of our security groups. So whether it's giving the inbound rules are there or not. So you can see it's working fine, because in the beginning only I have defined that this particular security group will be used while using these auto scaling groups. So that's why it's working fine. So take care of that. So you need to assign it. You can also check over here, my load balancer. You can see the security group that is being assigned, my ASG security group. So take care of this one over here and one in the EC2 instances, while when we are creating the ASG groups, that time take care of this security group and make it sure SSH and HTTP is there, HTTP port 80 is there, then only you will get the access to the EC2. Now we will go back to the auto scaling groups. Let me refresh this one. So you can see over here, our existing auto scaling group is there. Let me click on that. Now you can see desired capacity is 2. Now in order to see this one, we can see the activity over here. If you see the activity history, only one EC2 instance has been launched. Now, if I go back to the details, now I will just click here. I'll make the desired capacity to 2 and maximum capacity to 2. So update. So in the activity, you can see, just refresh it once, you will find that one more instance will start running. You can see launching an EC2 instance. So this is how auto scaling group works. So depending upon your desired capacity, minimum capacity, and how much the maximum you can have, we can define it over here. So automatically it will scale in and out. So this is how it works. Now, if you check even in the EC2 dashboard, number of instances running that is showing, we can just clear this filter. You can see it's already started running, you can see. So now if you check, let me check now this instance will be having the Apache server installed. Now, if you copy this one and paste it over here, it will work. Yeah, it's working fine. Now, if you talk about the load balancer, now if you go to this load balancer, copy the DNS, and we will paste it over here. So you can see 172.31.94, 178. If I refresh, you can see these are the public IPs of both instances. This means the load balancer is also working fine. So this is how we first created a target group, then the load balancer, then we created our auto scaling group. From the template, we define how many desired and how much is the maximum and what is the minimum capacity of EC2 instance required. Now, if you see the history also over here, that's it. Now, if I go back again, if I change it back to 1, so it will just terminate one of the instance. So I'm just making maximum capacity also 1 update. So you can just check in the activity. Just refresh. See, in progress, terminating. So this is how, now if you see in the EC2 dashboard also, number of instances that are there, we can just refresh over here. So it will soon be, this health will be changed. It will be coming to the state to the terminated. So this is how we can use the auto scaling groups. So we'll just wait for that instance. Even you can just refresh this. You can see it's always now only getting one of them. It's not showing the next IP because that instance is getting terminated. Now 31.25.159. If you check the IP address, not this one, I think the other one. So that is from the load balancer, not from here. So I'm making a mistake over here. Showing the public IP address. So you can see number of instance, there is only 1. Still it is showing. It will take some time to update over here, but you can just check it over here in the auto scaling group and you can check the activity over here. So waiting for connection draining basically. So there's one nice concept for this connection draining also there. I will explain in the next video. This is very nice. It gives you some time to close, or if any operations are going on, it will give you some time to close that one, and then it will terminate this connection and stop the EC2 instance. So there is certain time period is there. I think 30 minutes is there. So after that, it will get terminated. You can see that at 2022 1651, a user request update for this to maximum. So this is how at 6:51:31. So it is instance of was selected for termination. It's giving you all detail over here, so you can look into this. start time and end time. This is very nice thing. Now, in order to just clean up, just first delete your auto scaling group. Just putting a delete over here. So no need to worry about whether we want to, we have to terminate our EC2 instance. It will automatically be getting terminated once you do it from here, auto scaling group. And then if you want to delete your load balancer and target group, you can do that. So we can just go to the load balancers. You can select this actions and delete target groups. You can select over here actions, delete. Then you can just go to the auto scaling groups. It is still under process. So number of instances that it was controlling. And if you go to the EC2 dashboard, so you can see number of instances 0 now. Their state will get changed soon. You need to refresh. So it was being, it's updating still. It will take some time. I hope you understood this whole concept of having a auto scaling group and all. Hope in the upcoming videos, I will show you how we can use the policies and all. So this was all about in this, how we can use this AWS auto scaling, how we created a load balancer, also target groups, and also it's an overall topic in which I have covered everything about the load balancer from the target groups, then how to create a launch template in the auto scaling group and how to add it, and what is desired capacity and minimum and maximum. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.